Hi, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Dale.
We're sisters and best friends, and this is Proof It's Possible.
Jamie and I are complete opposites, but somehow through every stage of life, we stay on the same team. We're kicking the door wide open and sharing our morning coffee chats with you.
Join us as we chat about everything from chasing our dreams to entrepreneurship to family, friendship, and what other craziness we have going on that week.
Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Today we are chatting about protecting your peace during the holidays and what that means for you in all of the different areas that you potentially would need to protect your peace. So let's start with those family commitments, those work commitments, those friend commitments, those coworker commitments
because
that you don't really want to do, but you say yes to anyway.
Christmas is the craziest time of year. Just time is of the essence. I feel like everybody has a million things to do and not enough time to do them. And you have to get really picky with how you spend your time because there's just not a lot of it.
For sure. And the thing is you end up getting invited, and so nice to be invited to things and events and activities and all of that, that you maybe don't get a lot of joy from, or they cause you stress, or even worse, it's like if you have like a challenging family and you end up,
you feel obligated to invite them or do stuff with them,
or go to their thing, and you don't necessarily, so for me, I feel like there's a whole bunch of things to like chat about with this, but the other area I want to chat about in a little while, and we'll get to this, is being an entrepreneur during the holidays. Your work doesn't necessarily stop. Like, you still have a month end in the middle of Christmas, New Year's, family time, all of it. So how do you figure out the balance of this busy, crazy time?
And if you're crazy like me, you have all of your year ends December 31st. Who decided that?
You did life wrong about that. That's not the time to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. One of my businesses had a December 31st year end, and I don't know if like our accountant told us to do that or why. And then we all had like kind of staggered, the rest of the business had staggered throughout the year. And then for consistency, we decided we would make all the businesses the same and asked for CRA to approve that so that we could have just like one really awful time of year. Yeah. And I don't know why, but we chose
like at the happiest time of year.
I don't know why we chose December 30th
or November.
December 31st, like just a serious judgment and error. If you're a business owner, a striving business owner, and you're not incorporated yet, don't do as I do. Do not select December 31st for your year end.
Totally. But anyways, okay. So protecting your peace. So for me, this again, like boils down to boundaries. And knowing what brings you joy and sticking with your heart on that. So if it's like a work event that is an overnight in another city and it's going to take away from an entire weekend, for me, I don't know that I'm committing to that for a work event or for an event that is not something that I don't feel is a 10 out of 10 experience for me. Like, because it's a 2-day thing. Whereas if it's a 6 out of 10 obligation, but it's only a few hours, I can talk about that. I can consider it because it's the trade on it is not as much of an investment. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. Although like so nice of employers to do like, a weekend away for their Christmas party. Like, I used to work for a company when I was in my early 20s that always did one in Banff, and it was magical. It was so, like a place that I probably at the time couldn't have afforded on my own, and we'd get to stay in these beautiful hotel rooms. But looking back on it, I'm like, wow, that's a big time commitment right in the middle of the busiest season. So It's no wonder that a lot of families said no to it. Because they have kids' Christmas concerts and they have just so many other obligations. So I think that knowing what your time capacity is like so key.
I agree.
And also knowing how much you can tolerate the company that you're
keeping. And that's not even a slight against your coworkers or anything, but I feel like that is like it's a long time to be with people that are more your date, you see those people a lot already. And to then
Mm-hmm.
take a weekend with them is an
Mm-hmm.
extension. It's a little bit past the normal. Um,
Mm-hmm. And
but I
then
do think,
also, I think that if you're saying yes to an opportunity to hang out with a group of people for an entire weekend, you don't get to be mad that you're hanging out with a group of people for an entire weekend. It's
yeah,
something you
exactly. You chose
said
it.
yes to. So like the only
Exactly.
person to blame in that situation is yourself. And I know that's really hard when you're like annoyed and in the thick of it, but it's really dialing back to yourself and how your people pleasing has maybe extended into like the unhappiness in your own decisions.
Exactly. Well,
Mhm.
and what are your thoughts like for people who have challenging families? Like maybe their parents are divorced and they're being pulled in multiple directions and feelings are hurt, or their family just isn't like very joyful around the holidays for whatever reason and it's not super fun. Do you feel like it's okay to say no to Christmas dinner with your family if it genuinely doesn't bring you joy? Or like, where do you weigh in on that? Or what do you think about it?
I think the most important person in your life is you.
Same.
So, whatever you need to do to honor what is best for you, you can be
Hmm.
very unapologetic about that.
Yeah.
But the ways in which I think that you can manage that is like, so for instance, a new friend of ours, she lost a child and she said, Christmas just isn't the same since I've
Right.
lost my child. So instead of doing a traditional Christmas, to keep my peace, I go on a vacation and have a nice vacation with my
And
family. And that's
yes,
how
and
we
do
do it. We
something
don't stick
totally
to
different.
do something totally different than what your norm was
Hmm.
before. And so I think that's a really good tip or trick to get yourself out of that whatever situation immediately takes you back into like the sadness of it all, because I can't
Right.
imagine losing a child, and I know that it's got to be the most gut-wrenching awful experience on earth, and sitting in that sadness probably doesn't feel that great on Christmas morning. So counteracting that by doing something that is completely different and a new experience is a good way
And
to
brings
just,
you joy.
yeah, it
Well,
brings
and
you
I also
joy.
think you can have parameters, under more simple situations where it's like, I know your divorced parents don't really get along and you don't really like to bring them all together, or they don't like to come together. I would say to people who are in that situation, I would pre-tell my family where I'm going to be, how long I'm going to stay, so that everybody's like
Mhm.
expectations are clearly marked. Like, I will be able to come to your house for 2 hours on Christmas Eve, and then I'm going to
From
see the other
7
parent.
till
Yeah,
9.
exactly. Like, and have a really clear plan with everybody, so
Mhm.
everybody's in the know on what the thing is, what the plan is, what you're doing, so that you're happy with the time you've committed to. You're happy that you saw the people you saw. You
Mhm.
didn't try to force something that wasn't comfortable or wasn't what you wanted to do. Um, yeah. I also have a
I
girlfriend
think
who,
I fully believe that ambiguity is the birthplace of expectations.
for sure, like when
Giving
nothing
not
is
enough
planned,
details
yes,
and not saying where you're going to be, what you're going to be
yeah,
doing, how long you're going to be there, what time you're going to show up is exactly where people are like, "Oh, well she said she was stopping by on Christmas." They've already predetermined that stopping by means everyone knows that it's from 3 until 5 before dinner is
well,
served.
or yeah, or that they were to be there at noon and stay for dinner and then games and then a
And so
sleepover.
when you
Yeah,
show up at, 6 a.m. because
yeah,
stopping by at Christmas meant opening gifts together,
exactly.
a bunch of feelings are hurt. But I
Hmm.
fully believe that like ambiguity in any aspect of your life is exactly where expectations are birthed, and it is
I agree.
toxic. So I 100% am on board for like be as clear and concise as possible
Totally.
and be respectful of other people's time and energy. Like if you know that they go to church at a certain time, don't be like, that's
Yeah.
the only time I'm available to stop in. So
Or if you know that they are going to make like a meal and
tell
but
them
you
whether
won't
you're going to
commit
be there.
yes or no to the meal. Like, don't make somebody make you a meal if you have no intentions of staying for the dinner
A
and you're
hundred
just
percent.
stopping in the afternoon. Be super clear, and then that will make it so that they either don't make the meal or they invite somebody else for the actual dinner and just have a nice visit with you. It's all allowed. It's just how you communicate what your plans are and what feels good to you.
Totally. The other tip that I heard somebody say, I think it was actually Lori Harder, that if there's certain topics that are really triggering, like let's say that you want to have your in-laws over, but you just can't see eye to eye on religion or politics, or something that's just really triggering and you both feel very strongly but in opposite directions.
Right.
Do something that forces you not to talk about it. So I think her suggestion was, like play games. That's a way to force you out of the like idle chit chat where things could escalate and into just like a very refined, and this is exactly what we're doing. We're playing a game right now, and you can have fun with those people, but just not dabble in those things that are going to head nowhere good.
Yeah. They're just like hot topics that get spicy really quick and aren't necessary at Christmas, so avoid the heavy topic. Because why? Like that doesn't bring anybody joy to talk politics at a table that you're not on the same page for.
Totally.
No, I totally agree. Like I have a girlfriend that both her and her parents are divorced. His parents are sort of divorced and, not really, it's just not like a clean, like one night at your parents' house, one night at our parents' house. It's like there's 4 or 5 Christmases between the siblings, the people that live an hour away, people that live in town, so they are like our other friend who, for very different reasons, they just try to get on an airplane because they're like, you know what? We would love to see you at New Year's instead. Or we will see you guys like leading up to Christmas one by one in a very like casual fashion that feels good. We'll have a little Christmas exchange. We'll get together for a drink, whatever it looks like for that
Christmases
family.
style. For Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Like the movie. Exactly. Yeah. And then when you don't get to go or you accidentally stay home one year, you're from house to house to house to house, driving. And I think about them every year. I'm like, good for you guys. That is the example to me of protecting your peace. It is the way that you ensure that you're not doing the thing you don't want to do, which is drive for breakfast to one person's house and then for lunch to the next person's house and then a visit in the afternoon to the next person's house. And the thing for me is like, I actually would love to live in a city where I had all my family, all my cousins. I wouldn't mind driving from house to house because I would find joy in each stop.
Totally.
But if you don't find joy in each stop and it becomes a chore, you're not protecting your peace if you show up to it anyways.
Yeah.
So the kind of next topic that I think we should chat about is your business during the holidays, keeping your head on straight, doing the holidays, doing the family stuff, taking a break, because Christmas is nice to have a little bit of a like reprieve and from the grind, the work, but like if you're an entrepreneur, you don't necessarily get to not do your month end, your year end. You don't get to just not write your clients back because lots of people are very open. Their schedule is like very much about work between Christmas and New Year's. And they actually want more from you because they can like be in touch during that time and they have more time on their hands. So for me, I have to like put a ton of boundaries. I put an out of office if that is my hope. Some years I work in between Christmas and New Year's and I'm happy to do it. But if I'm not happy to do it, I have to make that clear in advance.
Yes, I feel like this is the like setting up for success in all aspects of your life. So whether that's with your personal life and your families and Christmas obligations, or in your business, or as a mom, I feel like there's a lot of like setting yourself up for success, things that need to happen as well. Like, don't wait till Christmas Eve to wrap every present. Set yourself up for success by just doing the task a little bit at a time. Don't be resentful when it's 3 a.m. and you're still wrapping gifts. Don't be mad, and exhausted the next day and then short-tempered because you didn't sleep the night before because you didn't set yourself up for success. So like one thing that I really have to dial in, especially during Christmas or any busy season really, is like, what can I do today to set myself up for success tomorrow? And for me, that means like, starting to gift wrap in November sometimes because that's
and like do 2 presents a day or 1 present a day. That's just like getting through them. Like as you get a present, wrap it. If you see something at a store, bring it home, wrap it, complete the
Purchase
task,
gifts
hide
before
it.
it's Christmas Eve. Like do the little things, buy the groceries, the ones that you can, little by little as you go to the grocery store so that you don't forget and then panic on Christmas Day when no stores are open. Like I just feel like if everybody did one little thing to set themselves up for success today,
for sure,
tomorrow's would be a lot easier. And I think that's for any aspect of your life. So for your business, like, oftentimes when I'm busy, I put off like little tasks like, oh, I'm not going to do my expenses right now because there's other more pressing things. Well, and then I'm 3 months behind on my expenses and I'm like, man, I hate expenses. They're the worst.
Worst. And
but I haven't set myself up for success.
Totally. Well, and this is sort of related just more to Christmas, but I have like on my blog from a past year, I have a checklist and it's like 4 weeks out. What are you doing to prepare for Christmas? And then 3 weeks out, what are you doing to prepare? And it's like little stuff like make a list of what are you hosting or what are you attending that you're supposed to bring a dish to, plan the dish, just make your menu. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything, but have an idea in your mind. So you don't get to the week of the event where you're supposed to bring an appetizer and you're like, I don't know what to bring. I never thought to look. I never looked anything up. And you just end up feeling flustered. It feels overwhelming. You aren't prepared. And like in life, everything's easier and better if you're prepared. It just is.
And you're not present, which is the whole purpose of Christmas, is that you're spending time with friends, family, loved ones. Yeah. And if you're busy out running errands the day before, the day of, if your mind is racing, you're not
somewhere else present. Yeah, for sure. I agree. And stress can ruin every good event in your life, and the holidays are no different. So making sure that you know that the last sort of 10 days of the month, 5 days of the month, whatever, are going to be wildly crazy with Christmas, doing some of your business stuff in advance. I will very likely do my expenses and my month end work the week before Christmas, just because I know that I don't want to have to face it when I feel like I'm now in holiday mode, because when I'm in holiday mode, I want to stay there. I don't want to be like, oh no, actually I'm going to go back to work,
And I honestly think that we need to respect our own boundaries about holiday mode. If you've decided it's holiday mode, then stick to it. Keep that promise to yourself that you're not actually going to do the work.
Exactly. Which I'm terrible for, because I'm like, I have a coffee. I could just sit at my desk for a few minutes and get some things done or catch up or whatever. But I leave holidays and think I didn't really have a holiday. I worked every single day of the entire holiday. And so I have to really push myself to be in holiday mode and stay in it and give myself that time to have fun, relax, enjoy my family, take in the holidays, and do it the way I want to do it. Yeah.
But it's the most magical time of the year.
It is. And we would love to hear how you guys protect your peace, whether that's having good habits. Do you take time for yourself to read, or, need quiet or need alone time in between the busy schedule of parties and events and family? We would love to hear how you manage yours, because I'm always up to learn. And if we have any good ones, we'll share it with everybody on our social media.
So, bye everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks, and chat next time.